Amaka gange bagalumbye abali muleya ne mu uniform babuuse bisenge ne bayingira n'enzigi ne bazimenya bamenya enzigi 3 bamenya gate ne bamenya olujjo lw'emanju oluyingira ne bamenya olwa wakati ne bamenya ekisenge kyange ne bayingira ne bajjayo matu abantu bano beewunyisa ne ka perfume nako bakabba ate nze siwaayira kubanga bwe nkuwaayira ku lunaku lw'enkomero tugenda kusimbagana nawe amaaso siwaayira ipads naye n'ogibba ebyo nkakasa babibba ne batambula ne bagenda bwe baamala okugenda ne badda ku bavubuka ne babakuba bubi nze n'obujulizi mbulina nga bamenya nina obujulizi nga bakuba abantu nga babakulula nina obujulizi nga balinnya ebisenge ebyo mbirina naye ate olwaleero ekyewunyisa nempulira nga omwogezi owa poliisi ng'agamba nti twakwatirayo abantu 3 n'okusoba naye lwaki gw'olimba ensi eno nti nze wali nnyinawo abavubuka mu ngeri emenya amateeka era mbasomesa butujju omwami yonna nga nkugamba nti eri bagiyita Tula Rehabilitation Center registered. Rehabilitation kitegeeza okuŋŋaanya abantu aboononese n'obaddaabulula ne baddayo gwe mulimu gwange gwenkola okumala emyaka 2 ngamba 2 wano entandikwa ya wano naye okumala emyaka 4 byonna okusonsonkereza kututyoboola kutukkakkanya naye mazima tuyinza kukkiriza goge mazima ekyokusomesa Kurani mbalayirira tubeera nabo fe abawalimu abantu abo tubeerawo n'omuzikiti n'abantu abo tebatubulako wetubeera we babeera era teri agenda batujjako ne bw'oyagala otya tujja kubeerawo tubasomese Kurani tubajjemu n'empisa embi fenna tutokubeera mu.
As you are aware, there was public debate and outrage from sections of the Muslim community, including the Uganda Muslim Lawyers Association, after a video clip captured law enforcement officers breaking and entering into the home of Sheikh Yunus Kamoga on the 2nd of June 2023. And of course, after entering the premises, the video showed the officers assaulting, kicking, gun-batting, and even torturing some of the victims. Of course, there were stones that were being pelted at them, but it didn't require that response. We've seen an online statement from the Uganda Muslim Lawyers Association expressing dismay and condemnation of the alleged raid, attacks, breaking, and also alleged unlawful actions at the residence of Sheikh Yunus Kamoga. And of course, as the joint security agencies, we would like to remind the Muslim communities that we do accord equal protection and due process rights to everyone in the country. And despite the propaganda that is moving out there, it is not true that Muslims in the country are being targeted because of their religion. You are all aware that our police officers responded to complaints from parents whose children went missing from schools and homes and were traced to the alleged rehabilitation center at Tula Kawempe. And while at the premises, our officers were denied entry initially for unknown reasons, which prompted a break-in and an entry. Now, every lawyer in this country knows very well that the police have powers to break in and out of any premise if there are reasonable grounds. So it was therefore not unlawful to break and enter into the home where there is alleged trafficking of children. The only challenge we had is that the officers did not display professional attitude that the force and the public expected of them. So the abusive and excessive use of force violated both the code of conduct from the police and also the rights of the victims. But we would like to assure the Muslim community that 13 officers who participated in the raid have been suspended and they are scheduled to appear before the disciplinary court. They also remain under investigation for torture and aggressive behavior, pending retrieval of the medical forms that we issued to the victims. But as the joint security agencies, we remain committed to investigating all instances of torture or civil rights violations against all Ugandans, including Muslims. As we pledge to work with all religious leaders, it's important for all Ugandans to know that the war on terror is still on, and it is not aimed at any ethnic group or religion. But we, however, have a duty to apply appropriate scrutiny as joint security agencies when we have reason to do that, or when we have information of individuals and groups that have linkages with hostile groups, groups that could be recruiting and radicalizing children. That is why we always take this amount of interest. Of course, the president of UMLA, that is the Uganda Muslim Lawyers Association, Kankaka Ali, has castigated the police, saying that, especially the spokesperson saying that we tell lies. But it is also important for him to also avail the public with the records of the alleged rehabilitation center, whether is it registered. This is what the public wants to know. It's not simply looking at one side. Come up with a balanced statement, get in touch to the rehabilitation center, bring out a license, maybe from the NGO board or Uganda Registration Services Bureau, to show that it is a registered center. Not only that, show that there are consent forms from parents who are complaining. Bring this record out and show to the public. It is also important that some of the entry records and visas, like some of the children from DRC and Rwanda, how did they enter into this country without entry documents? Show the public. So I'm calling upon Mr. Kankaka Ali. It's not just to come and blame the police every time. We are handling a matter where children are allegedly victimized. So it is not that we are the ones who initiated the complaint, okay? So we pledge to continue working together with the entire Muslim fraternity in order to combat some of the negative misconceptions of violence and hatred portrayed against the law enforcement personnel. His administrators, to the police in Kawempe to give us a statement indicating circumstances under which the rehabilitation center was created, and whether they have an operating license, and how they were mobilizing these children from different parts of the country, including some from Congo and even Rwanda. However, he defied the summons and did not report. But our police at Kampala Metropolitan North continues to investigate the alleged unlawful confinement and trafficking in persons against Sheikh Kamoga at Tula rehabilitation facility, which belongs to him. The number of male teenagers and young adults has increased from 32 to 45, who have all been profiled and statements recorded from them. And of course, we've so far established that the rehabilitation center was operating illegally. It's not registered by the NGO board or URSB or any other authorized organization. The center had specialized in the recruitment of male teenagers and young adults, some without the consent of their parents. For instance, there is Mugisha Siraji, 17, was picked on the 25th of May from Gayazu village, Kakumiro, without the consent of the parents. Gumisiriza Ismail, aged 15, was picked by Sheikh Farooq Jumba at Kahiro Mosque in Ibanda. We have Katoto Ahmed Amisi, aged 17, a Congolese, was picked from a mosque in DRC by Ewan Juma. Okech Ibrahim, aged 12, was picked by Ramadan from Oyam district. We have a full list of the 45 victims, which we need to share with you, but we also have a one called Nur Wiko, a Congolese resident of Rushuru, aged 18, and also Hamada Katoto, also a Congolese resident of Rushuru, aged 19, was taken by an NGO from the rehabilitation center. We also have Naganzwa Abdel Karim, aged 18, from Luriranyeze, Ngarama Gatsiho in Rwanda, who also found his way at the rehabilitation center. So these alleged acts of unlawful confinement, coercion, and abuse of children's rights should not be taken as an attack on the Muslim community. It's an investigation against individuals who are allegedly involved in the trafficking of children and adults. So far, 17 of the victims have been reunited with their parents and guardians. The facility, when it was inspected, was crowded. Victims were confined in an unhealthy environment with poor feeding. Adults were sharing beds with juveniles while others slept on the floor. And so the investigations continue in that area.
Niye mazima tuyinza kukkiriza boge mazima ekyokusomesa Qur'an mbalayirira tubeera nabo fu abawalimu abantu abo tubeerawo n'omuzikiti n'abantu abo tebatubulako wetubeera we babeera era tiniyagenda batujjako ne bw'oyagala otya tujja kubeerawo tubasomese Qur'an tubajjemu n'empisa embi fenna tuteekubeera